Hello, everyone. This is Ben Gressley, host of the Flora Frequency radio show on Bearcast Radio here at University of Cincinnati. It is Tuesday, February 24th at just about 6 o'clock. And as I have been saying on the show for a while now and have been announcing for the past several episodes, tomorrow is going to be a special episode of the show. I am going to be welcoming members of the band Oh the Manatee into the Bearcast radio studio, and I am going to be interviewing them about their new EP titled Catalyze, which just released a few days ago this past Friday. So I was kind of thinking that given the fact that my on-air time slot is only an hour long, and the fact that I want to be sure that I give them the whole time so we can do this interview properly and not detract from that, because that's going to be the prime focus of the episode tomorrow. And quite frankly, I think I'm going to be doing this for all future episodes like this as well, because this is going to be the first of several such episodes that I'm going to be doing on the show down the road. So obviously, I know you all like my weather reporting and updates on the local music scene, as well as any news regarding environmental or horticultural updates in the area. So because of that, I want to ensure that I'm allotting the entire time slot tomorrow for my interview of Oh the Manatee. But at the same time, I don't want to not do the reporting on the weather and the music scene and any environmental stuff that we have coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be recording these separately and uploading these to my YouTube channel, simply Flora Frequency on YouTube, so you can listen to my reporting of this for this week there. Pretty much the exact same way you would hear me talking about it on the show on Bearcast Radio. So for tonight, I'm not going to be doing the weather right away. I will be releasing that as a separate recording tomorrow, because I could pull something up for what they're calling for tomorrow now, but then Cincinnati weather will happen and it'll be Cincinnati weather will happen, and it'll be something completely different by tomorrow, and then what I say here today will basically not be true. So this recording is going to be an update on the music scene and what we have going on around here for this week, along with some stuff regarding the environmental and horticulture stuff, and then stay tuned for the weather report tomorrow. So music scene updates for this week. So first and foremost, obviously, Oh the Manatee is coming on the show tomorrow, and their recent release, the EP Catalyze, we're going to be talking about that on the show. So basically, what I would like to do here now is go over the pre-interview that we put together for tomorrow's show that I have here, just so that you all can kind of understand and get an idea of what this episode is going to be about and what all we're going to be talking about on there, to give you kind of a sneak peek of what we got coming tomorrow before the show actually airs. So basically, the topic areas that we're going to cover on the show tomorrow are mostly going to be focused on the EP itself, the project that they did to work on it, and the production process, along with kind of how they balance their lives as musicians along with being students here at UC. So topic areas are going to include like how the EP came together, just how they got the songs together and all that, the recording and the production processes, like what all happened behind the scenes. I'm going to ask if there are one or two songs on the EP. There's a total of 5 on there that they are particularly proud of, and They did a release show this past Saturday at Spiral Groove Records in Milford. I was there, as I mentioned on the show last week, and I'm going to ask them how they felt playing that show. And then, like I said, I'm going to ask how they balance their school and their academic commitments here at the university, along with their work as the band. And then I'm going to ask them what's next. I mean, they already indicated at their release show that it sounds like they might be working on an album or something now. So I'm really going to be interested to hear them talk about that and give their side of it, and you all can listen in on that tomorrow as well. And then basically I'll give them like a reflective question as well, just asking how does it feel now that it's like out in the world and people are listening to it and people are sharing it, and does it feel any different now than when it was in production and not out there yet. So that's the pre-interview for the show tomorrow. And then speaking of Oh the Manatee, they've also got some shows coming up as well. We've got 2 back-to-back happening next weekend, so a week from this Friday and Saturday. That will be March 6th and 7th respectively. They have only confirmed these dates on their Instagram, so the official information for this has not been released yet, but more information should be coming out as we get closer, so be paying attention to the band's Instagram for more updates in that regard. They also have a show coming up on the 20th of March. This will be at the Comet in Northside. This will be during UC's spring break, so if y'all are students and you're off school for spring break, but you're still here in Cincinnati and you want something really fun to do, go see a really awesome band perform, I would definitely recommend going down there. It's really close to campus. They're also already looking ahead to the summer, as they have listed on their Instagram bio that they have already confirmed a show date for July 10th. But obviously we're months away from that, so more information on that will come as we get closer. Next, Limelight is going to be having a show tomorrow, so this will be the night after the airtime for Flora Frequency this week. It'll be tomorrow night. Music will start at roughly 9 o'clock. Free entry at Murphy's Pub right down the street. And fortunately, I took a look at the timing of this, and while Wednesday nights are typically not good for me because I've got class at that time, this is actually going to work out because honestly, I get out of class at 8:50. Murphy's is super close. The music starts at roughly 9. I'll be able to come for at least most of the show, if not all of it. So fortunately, I will make this show. I was already kind of mentioning on previous episodes, I announced this show and I said that I was not expecting to make it because of the class, but I double-checked this today and I realized that take that back, I'm actually going to be there. So super excited for that. Then, speaking of which, they also are working on a brand new single. The single is called Posies, and they have already played it live at a show that I saw them at El Vaquero, our music sponsor here at Bearcast, back a few weeks ago, earlier this month. And this new single is set to release on March 13th on all platforms. So be on the lookout for that. They'll probably play it live at their upcoming shows, including the one tomorrow. So if you want to hear it, come out to the show, and it will release on the 13th. Next, we have 2 back-to-back shows happening this Saturday, the 28th. The first is going to be Soma's next show. The next one is going to be Soma's next show, or the first of these 2 shows is going to be Soma's next show. And it is going to be at Lo-Fi, which is the basement of Hi-Fi Cincinnati in Mount Adams. So many of you are probably familiar with Flora and Flair, the cocktail bar over there that we've had many shows at. Reclaimed Runways is hosted there as well. This is essentially across the street from Flora and just a few doors down. And the main bar itself is Hi-Fi, and then Lo-Fi is the basement of this building. So that is where Soma is going to be performing this Saturday evening. That show will be at 7 o'clock. And There's no cover, but it is 21 and up only. So do expect that you will have to show your ID upon entry. Soma also has a couple other shows confirmed for later this summer, April 18th at the TKE House and April 27th at the Comet in Northside. So keep those on your calendar as well. Speaking of Soma, they are currently working on getting an album together that will be releasing sometime, hopefully, in the near future. And a single from this album is probably going to drop at some point beforehand as well, so keep an eye out for that. Then later in the evening on Saturday, there is going to be another show taking place at the Fuel Lounge in Over the Rhine in downtown Cincinnati. This is on Main Street, and it will be featuring the bands Cassavet, Juno Harlot, and Deej, who is a really good soloist I've had the honor to see this past fall. And that show will start at 9 o'clock on Saturday. I plan to be hitting both of these shows back to back, so you will see me at both. Speaking of Cassavet, their lead singer, who's also a really talented soloist, Sophie Stockton, she was formerly the lead of the band Golf Lamp. She just recently announced that she will be going on tour with the band Mariana, and her current boyfriend, Jack McMullen, is actually the lead singer of Mariana. So this is technically Mariana's tour, but she, being the boyfriend of the lead singer and a very talented musician herself, is going to be accompanying them on that tour of the East Coast of the United States this summer. And she and the band have just recently released like a crowdfunding effort. They've announced like some sort of crowdfunding effort to kind of help offset the cost of this trip and the travel expenses that they're going to be incurring to be able to go on this tour. So if you're a fan of Sophie Stockton and her music, or Cassavet or Mariana, or you like all of them, I would definitely recommend you maybe go check that out, as well as come to their next shows that they got going on around here, including the Cassavet show this weekend at Fuel Lounge. So yeah, super cool that they get the opportunity to go on this tour of the East Coast this summer. So I definitely hope they get those travel expenses offset and get that really cool experience. Then the application for Battle of the Bands at Fishbowl closed today. This is an annual event hosted by the UC Music Club and is a charity to help raise money for Girls Rock Cincy, a really good organization that we have here in town that hosts camps during the summer where girls and female musicians here in this area can go and pay anywhere from $0 to $300 camp deposit, depending on their income level, to learn how to make music. And they get together in bands and put on these little shows, which is kind of the heart and soul of the camp. As I mentioned on the show last week, we had a representative from Girls Rock Cincy come talk to us at the last music club meeting, and I thought it was a really nice presentation that she put on for us. And she is really thankful for what we do, because it's actually because of the fundraising from this event that they are able to help offset the cost of this camp for girls who may not have enough money to pay the full rate to attend the camp during the summer. So this is a really good thing, really good cause. I highly encourage all of you to attend, but the application for new bands to try and be on the bill for this has just closed, or is getting ready to close tonight. And Music Club has just recently revealed that this is their biggest applicant pool yet. So they have more bands and more acts on this application, or who have submitted their applications for this, than ever before. But ultimately it's going to be very competitive, as only 6 of those applicants will actually make the cut and get on the bill. So best of luck to all of the bands who have applied, and I hope to see some really good acts at Fishbowl down the street for the Battle of the Bands this year. I will definitely be there for it, and I am super excited. So yeah, Music Club will probably reveal who is on the bill probably sometime over the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that. Their Instagram is at music4UC. That is the number 4, not the word 4. And I will probably also mention it here on the show as well. Then, lastly, in regard to the music scene, Bearcast Radio Department just recently launched a brand new Instagram account. The handle for this is at uc.djs. And myself, as well as the other Bearcast Radio hosts, you should definitely listen to their shows as well. They are all really good. We will basically be using this as like a common area to post content about our shows and Bearcast Radio. So it's super cool, super chill. I would definitely recommend you go check it out and give it a follow on Instagram. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I've got in terms of the music scene news for this week. Once again, I will have a weather report for you tomorrow before the regular show time slot. But real quick before I wrap up here today, I do want to just let you know that we don't really have a whole lot going on for this week in terms of environmental or horticulture related events. I think it's an off week for UC Horticulture Club. And yeah, there's just not really a whole lot to report in that regard. But obviously, when things come up, I will report it on the show as always. So there you have it. This is kind of my off-the-clock reporting, so that we can free up the time slot for the interview tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed. This will be on YouTube, so you can listen to it at your leisure. And in the meantime, as always, take care of your mental health, prioritize your self-care, and I will be back tomorrow with a weather report as well as the show where we will be interviewing the Manatee, which we are all very super excited for. So until then, peace.